Hello, you're with Libby from libbystamps.com, and I'm an independent Stampin Up demonstrator in Australia. And today I'm bringing you another watercolour pencil technique. This one's done with the clear ink of Stella, which gives your project a really nice shimmery finish. I'll have closer photos on my blog. So we've used the watercolour pencils, and I've die cut the dragonflies from the detailed dragonfly Thinlits dies. So I've just die cut the group of 5 dragonflies in basic grey, and I've used a sentiment from the Dragonfly Dreams stamp set. Now these come as a bundle at the moment, and you get 10% off if you buy them as a bundle, and that'll only last for this current catalogue, which finishes on the 31st of May. So we're going to use our watercolour pencils, and on this one I've used Daffodil Delight, Pumpkin Pie and Rich Razzleberry. On our next card I'm going to try Calypso Coral, Bermuda Bay and Pacific Point, and see how they look as a background for our dragonflies. So you just need your watercolour pencils and some shimmery white cardstock. Now I've already stamped the sentiment on there in basic grey, and it's an archival stamp pad, so that's alright, it won't run if you get Wink of Stella or Aqua Paint or anything on it. So you need your basic grey, you need a sentiment, 3 of the watercolour pencils and your clear Wink of Stella to make this card. Plus I've cut about 12 inches or 30 centimetres of the 5/8 of an inch organza whisper white ribbon. So we'll start with our card front, and what I do is I use my, if you're not good at eyeballing things, and sometimes when you get started on a project you get a bit carried away. So on this one in Daffodil Delight I drew myself by hand a rectangle, and I knew I didn't want to go outside of that rectangle. So you can draw your rectangle about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, just very lightly around your card, and then you know that you're going to have a rectangle to stay inside of, and you can colour to the edges of that rectangle. So I think we'll start with Calypso Coral. I'm going to start up here, and you're just giving it a light colour, just like that, and I coloured to the diagonal, so I'm just doing this very quickly. So I coloured about there, and we're doing it on a diagonal, and that's why I sort of drew my rectangle. And then I'm going to come in with my darkest colour, which is Pacific Point, and I'm just going to draw a diagonal like that, and I know I'm going to stay within that part. That sort of roughly divides your card into thirds.
Hey, if you want to play, make it about a place. It'll take creation, imagination.
And then I'm going to come in with my Bermuda Bay and colour the rest. Now we'll come in with our Wink of Stella, and you want to make sure you've got plenty of the Wink of Stella down in the tip of the brush. So you push the sides, it's got little signs on it that says push, so you push until you see some of the liquid, and I think my pen's almost about run out, but some of the liquid will start to come down, and you might get a dot on the end. Put that on your card, but once it's nice and wet, you're going to come in and just colour.
Destiny require every dream to believe. Take a chance, lead the dance, and run with what is in your heart. Let the magic start.
And there we have our background. Now I'm going to put that to one side to allow it to dry, and I'm going to bring in my dragonflies, and I'm just going to quickly colour them also in Wink of Stella.
You're in charge, yes you can. What's the plan? Come on, let's do this and do it now. I want to hear you shout. I am independent. I am dedicated. Doing it my way, doing it my way. Yes, I am. I am in control. I am.
Alright, so the dragonflies are done, and that's it for the Wink of Stella. So we'll let those dry. Now I've got another tip for you today. So I've got about 12 inches or 30 centimetres of ribbon here, and I want to just tie it in a knot. I don't want a bow. So here's a quick tip. Use a clean stamp pad and wrap your ribbon around it. Make sure it's on there straight. Just move those dragonflies out of the way. Alright, now I usually tie my knots on the edge because I feel I get a tighter knot that way. So I'm going to go right over left and under, and then left over right and under, alright, now here comes the fun part where you want to pull that nice and tight. Alright, while it's on there, I'm just going to trim up the ends, so make sure they're right. So I need to have this one going that way, about there. So I've trimmed up the ends, and then all you do is slip it off your stamp pad. You haven't got much wastage, and you're just going to cut it. I cut it just before halfway, like that, and then I can decide where I'm going to put it on my card front. So I then bring in my card front, and I sort of eyeball where I want it, and here's where your glue dots come in handy. And then I just fold those over. Done. Easy as. Now you can trim that off if you want. You don't want too much there. But look, you've got hardly any wastage doing it that way. So that's about 12 inches or 30 centimetres of ribbon. Now I've already done my card base, and I've put Bermuda Bay as another layer. So I'm going to add this shimmery white layer now. Now that's almost dry, so we'll just put it to one side for a moment, and I'm going to come back in with my dragonflies. And here's a tip for your dragonflies. On the edges of your Stampin Dimensionals, here and here, you get all these little half dimensionals which you can cut in between. And then what I do is, for the dragonfly, I cut them in half again. So you've got quarters of Stampin Dimensionals that you're going to put on the back of your dragonfly. So then I come in with my card front. Now the other one I had going that way, this one I might do going the other way. Right, so there we have two beautiful cards using Dragonfly Dreams and the Shimmery watercolor pencils. So we've done watercolor pencils on our backgrounds and then covered in Wink of Stella. We've put Wink of Stella on our dragonflies as well, and we've got two quite quick but beautiful cards. I think perhaps next time I'd put a little bit more Cajun Craze up there. I wasn't game enough to put a lot up there because it can be quite a vibrant colour, but I think that looks nice anyway. That's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.